Even the parliamentary team that is investigating the same, we are going to interact with all concerned personalities to ensure an expeditious investigation.
Meanwhile, police is holding 5 suspects for causing a 2 billion shillings financial loss meant for printing voting materials, though 600 million shillings so far have been recovered.
Of the Uganda Printing and Publishing Corporation, who are going to court. We are charging them to court this afternoon for causing financial loss and for other related conspiracies. And the 5 suspects we have include Professor Waswa Tom David, who was a former managing director of the UPPC, Mr. Kaseke and Mujuzi Astrapo, the former finance manager.
The Directorate of Immigration has paraded foreign nationals for fraudulently attempting to acquire Ugandan passports. Among these is a Nigerian national who adopted the name Dumba.
But he had managed to get this passport, the electronic passport, and he was using it to exit the country through Busia border to go to Germany, depicting himself as a citizen of Uganda. So we call upon Ugandans like my brother Serwaji to desist from these acts of criminality where you sell your country just because of very little money.
The Directorate also has called upon applicants to collect finished passports. So far, the Department of Immigration is stuck with at least 30,000 passports. Abdu Nasili Lubwama for UBC.
Now, High Court Criminal Division has set March 24th for court assessors to give a ruling in a murder case of ASP Mohammed Shirumira and Nalinya Bresti by Karunji Abubakar. This comes after court had all evidence of both parties in the matter. Let's take a look.
Karunji Abubakar, the accused in the murder case of ASP Mohammed Shirumira, has reappeared in the High Court Criminal Division to proceed with the trial. Prosecution led by lawyer Thomas Jatiko presented all the evidence tendered into court in the matter before court against the accused Karunji Abubakar.
My lord, the accused person in the dock was possessed of a mobile phone and that was making and receiving calls, and that in this area there were masts, telecommunication masts, which enable communication of mobile phones, and was not able to recognize or identify, was not able to identify clearly who these 2 persons on the motorcycle were shooting at the motor vehicle.
He also added that the 16 witnesses in the case all directly point out at Abubakar how he was involved in the murder. With this, he asked court to find the accused Karunji Abubakar guilty.
My lord, we have prosecution has already referred to the conduct of running away by the accused all the way from where he stayed soon after the commission of the offense, all the way to Bulisa, where he was eventually arrested. My lord, this is all evidence to show and pin the accused person to participating in the commission of this offense.
However, the prayer was rejected by the accused's lawyer Zimbe Zephania, who cited that the evidence is duplicated, thus asking court to acquit the accused.
Submitted and highlighted all the reason why the accused person is innocent and court should find him innocent. We have informed court that there are major contradictions and inconsistencies in the prosecution case, and which shows that they do not have enough evidence to implicate the accused person, and the accused person has not placed at the scene of crime, or nothing shows that he actually participated in the commission of the offense.
He also told court that the accused Abubakar was forced to sign the confession documents while he was at Semai in Imbuya.
We have also submitted that the prosecution cannot rely on the alleged charge and caution statement because it was procured through duress and force. The accused person was tortured, so that confession and that charge and caution statement cannot stand according to the law, and we have prayed court to reject it and find the accused person innocent and acquit him.
Judge Margaret Mutoni set the 24th of March 2023 for court assessors to deliver a ruling in this matter. Court will also give its final ruling in this case. Rebecca Nantongo, Susan Nabgude, UBC News.
And government is focused on providing a conducive environment and infrastructure to facilitate the broader utilization of ICTs to spur social and economic development. According to Dr. Amina Zawedde, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, the sector is essential in bridging the gender divide in addition to accelerating the achievement of Uganda's money economy and Vision 2040 agenda.
Access to information is for economic growth. It is vital in effectively delivering services that touch the needs of the citizens. The citizens get empowered to access service and participate in governance. Uganda has developed information, communication and technology infrastructure as a global commitment to improve digital inclusion and to realize the Sustainable Development Goals. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Amina Zawedde, told UBC that the plan conforms to the National Planning Framework, the National Development Plan 2 and Vision 2040. Adoption and utilization of ICTs has empowered Ugandans and conforms to government's social and economic growth agenda.
We have done the extension of the backbone to over now, I think, 40% to 50% of the country. To date, we boast of every out of 100 Ugandans, 55 Ugandans have a phone and others are connected to the internet. Then in terms of the services, we have many services going online for government and in the private sector. I think in the banking industry, everyone does online banking.
However, stakeholders in the tech space still lament the cost of broadband, unfavorable policies, high taxation of imported internet-enabled gadgets and devices.
So we are urging all players to collaborate and work with one another, work with the government, work with the private sector to make sure that the digital system is safe, secure and affordable. Because at the end of the day, there can't be financial inclusion if there is no accessibility, affordability and availability.
Inadequate access to the bandwidth, that has limited the access to internet itself. And so the procurement or the purchase of what amount of bandwidth has been expensive.
These are concerns, but the state of affairs and demand for data are driving internet uptake and could eventually lower costs.
If we have few users online, then the maintenance of this network is all going to come onto these few users. So we want to bring more users online. We have so many youths in this country, and we're saying if everyone is hooked onto, the internet, then we'll be able to have a high turnover of services being engaged on. We'll have revenue generated out of the services that they're being hooked onto. Right now, it is not the case. So that is why you find the costs high. Okay. So now, how do we get more people to get online? They need devices. They need a phone. They need a laptop. But these gadgets are expensive. So we're saying, if we can have subsidies on these devices or taxes waived and we get more people online, then we'll eventually get the cost of internet down.
But government is committed to bridging the gender divide in the digital space, which is in line with this year's International Women's Day theme, Digital Innovation and Technology for gender equality.
The advice I give to the girl child out there is to believe in themselves. I think I always have motivational placards. Yeah, motivational placards in my office for anyone who visits. There are many more. Some of them are, you have to do it right now. Otherwise, if you don't seize the moment and opportunity now, then it is gone. So I urge all girls that, I am here.
30%, it significantly impacts on job creation, gross domestic product GDP, broadening of educational opportunities, rural development, and enhancement of public service delivery. Dennis Igor for UBC News.
The National Social Security Fund, NSSF, has reacted to Parliament probe on the status of the fund's misuse of funds by top management. NSSF acting MD Patrick Ayota told the media that the report presented states no evidence of the fund's misuse by NSSF's board or management.
Richard Biarogaba, the former MD, wanted to use the 1 billion to give members of the board to approve his contract.
But the issues surrounding the National Social Security Fund abuse have taken a different twist as the NSSF management claim the funds are not touched at all. The chairman board NSSF, Peter Chimboa, told a media briefing in Kampala that the information given by the Parliament Select Committee on the NSSF probe.
The perception in the public has been that a bag was brought to the fund and was filled with 6 billion and taken to Ministry of Labour. That is a very exciting thing to hear and nice, but it did not happen. The 6 billion is here and growing on behalf of members. Number two, the 1.8 billion, which was also mentioned, that the bag was brought here with 1.8 billion and shared among board members as they wished, or according to the list that the MD, the former MD, mentioned. Now, that list, I must state clearly, that list was in the imagination faculty of the MD.
On March 1st, 2023, the Select Committee Chairman, Honorable Mwine Mpaka, presented the report on the status of the National Social Security Fund. But key components underlined were the resignation of the fund's top management, the principle of investment diversification, and the use of data and information.
But you asked the minister to resign, you want the board to step aside, you want top management to step aside, and what happens to the fund? Think about that. What happens to the fund if we all want safety? But the point of it is, until the executive pronounces itself in terms of the recommendations, we'll still stay put until we see.
Whereas the report underscores areas where NSSF must improve, the committee did not consider the context or information provided.
The committee assumed that the budgeting in NSSF means spending at the fund, which is far from the truth. Budgets are plans that are informed by market assessments. So there's a process for planning, then there's a process for spending. Before any funds are committed, the user department must provide justification for the procurement process to commence or satisfy the accounting officer, among others, of the value for money.
The fund aims at utilizing the parish development model to extend its services to the last mile person.
We are hoping to comb right, leveraging the parish development model, and comb right to the grassroots to ensure that every Ugandan has a reasonable measure of social protection and security.
Charlotte Amuge and Juma Samba for UBC News.
Now, the construction of roads to have Kasese municipality connected is progressing well, although contractors have compromised the failure by residents to support the works. As Ivan Kawa reports, a total of 5.8 kilometers of road are being constructed, but the construction of 1.4 kilometer Mbo-Yabu road is what is rejected.
A 1.4 kilometer Mbo-Yabu road funded by the World Bank under USMID is being constructed to ease connectivity and beautify the main town of Kasese municipality.
Each drive lane is 3.25 meters. Then on the extreme end, either end, we have a parking lane, and that parking lane is 2.8 meters each.
So the total road width is actually 13 meters.
The road is designed to include subgrade improvement due to the nature of soil in the area. So far, layers of granite rocks and G15 marram have been laid.
This is a former road bed of Nyamwamba River. And so our soils are pure sand. Even if you dig down, you're just going into sand, up to maybe 10 feet.
Residents have been supportive of the road works and have modified their plots to give way for the construction works.
This person cut off how many rooms here? I think there were 2 or 3. Yeah, this building was coming into the road here.
I know.
So it voluntarily demolished. Now, from here,
community demand for any compensation as their contribution.
One resident, however, rejected all persuasion for the road to go through his land, a situation that has not enabled connectivity.
But it's just an individual. However, the contractor and the consultant, they have earmarked another portion to compensate for that. But in the case he accepts, even when they compensate, they are saying they are ready under contingency to have that place addressed.
Because now it can continue being in court and then he comes up with
took us to court, but took us to court over what? For us, we haven't done anything on his
so I think, but now we have to follow and say, look, we have not done anything to him. Yes. We don't know why he's in the court.
That's the defense we have given in court.
You have already given in court?
Yes, we have not done anything on
Okay. For those who have business, you know the fact that when you are putting up development, you don't destroy what is there completely. As long as you have got a small portion where you can pass, and maintenance will still be done within that work, it's okay.
On the other hand, at 3rd Street, a base course drawing underway on a 4.4-kilometer network of paved roads. Ivan Kahwa in Kasese district.
Meanwhile, the born-again leaders have been urged to engage in agriculture so as to eliminate undeserving funders with the Rise and Shine Church during a media briefing. It comes ahead of elections for the General Overseer of the National Fellowship.
The group of born-again Pentecostal churches is organizing general elections for the General Overseer of the Fellowship on 16th March 2023. It follows the expiration of Bishop Joshua Rele's 10 years term as the General Overseer of the National Fellowship of Born-Again Churches. Among the General Overseer of the Fellowship contestants, Bishop Moses Odong wants church leaders to start money-making projects.
To make sure that they know that not every funding is just safe as it is. Some of the fundings has strings attached. And we have sent messages to our leaders, to the churches, to make sure that they remain God-fearing, they remain trusting God for His provision for them.
Pastors have also been urged to resort to education for better service delivery.
Okusoma P7 okutula mu senior 4 ne ku senior 6 n'okukola n'amacourses endala era mbakowola okulaba nti oddayo kusoma kubanga ebiseera y'okuweereza Katonda nga tosomye ebiseera byaggwa.
Tugende mu maaso kubanga tetulina kubeera mu byamwoyo byokka. Bano abaana be bagenda okuddawo mu ggwanga lyaffe tulina obbakwasaganya bulungi ne tukakasa nti basoma.
Other contestants for the position of the General Overseer 2023-2028 of the National Fellowship of Born-Again Pentecostal Churches are Fonsubuga, Bishop Oduch George and Reverend Frederick Semazi. Rebecca Natongo, UBC News.
And 30 million shillings worth of paint from Plascon, Uganda. Now they were celebrating the holiday cultural celebrations.
Holi is one of India's popular festivals, signifying the beginning of spring, a period where Indians celebrate their new year in the months of March and April.
We celebrate this festival from the era of Lord Krishna. It's a divine festival for the celebration of the love of Lord Radha and Lord Krishna. And this festival is basically of Lord Krishna. It's a divine festival for the celebration of the love of Lord Radha and Lord Krishna. And this festival is basically for the day of new friendships, day of repairing all grievances, repairing of all kind of relationship.
The festival is characterized with spraying colored water and powder in open space to the celebrants. This year's celebrations have been held at KCCA grounds in Kampala.
We have called roadside selling people who are selling roasted maize, roasted nuts and boiled maize, and we have given them one free stall. They have come here and then we are giving them cash prizes, and we are going to, it's a kind of underprivileged business woman empowerment. We are giving strengthening to them. We have already appealed our people to buy from them and give them some money and tell them to strengthen their business and grow in the life.
This event is in line with honoring the cultural norms of the Holi day by Indians.
So it basically symbolizes new friendship and new love. And as it is one of the most important festivals for us, and we are associated with color, so we have to be a part of this. And we have been doing this every year with Rajasthani Association. Even last year we did it. So we are very happy. We hope everybody participates in this. It's not just for Indians, it's for all communities, everybody. So we encourage everybody to come and participate in this.
30 million worth paint. I'm so happy and I thank you.
The Indian business community supported Ginger Cancer Institute with 45 million towards improving the quality of health services. The festival of Holi is prominent in the northern part of India and is celebrated on the full moon day of March and April. Sandra Kahonde, Andrew Sabira, UBC News.
And with that, we take a quick break. When we return, business news.
Talk with freedom. Get MTN Freedom voice bundles that don't expire. Dial *100 *21 hash or my MTN app for more bundles. Together, we're unstoppable.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
This is our family's pride. This is my friend.
This is the future of our nation.
She is the future of Uganda, and the policies I enact today will protect her from teenage pregnancy.
She is the hope of our community, and I will talk to others about how we must protect her.
She is our family's pride, and I will protect her from child marriage and talk to her about the dangers of teenage pregnancy. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from child marriage and pregnancy, because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Their support meant so much to me. I stayed focused and was protected from child marriage and teenage pregnancy. I will support other girls against child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sauti 116.
Get the most affordable 4G smartphone in Uganda from Airtel. Now heavily discounted from 250,000 shillings to 150,000 shillings only. Yes, 150,000 shillings only to keep you connected to your loved ones.
Dial *175*94 hash to activate free 1 GB instantly and 100% double data on all weekly and monthly bundles for 3 months. Get one today while stock lasts from the nearest Airtel shop. With Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Uganda Water and Environment Week is back.
Join us as we deliver value internally and externally by promoting a multinational integrated approach that links all sectors of water and environment, and also explore and deliberate on the water and environment resources to climate resilience. The week commemorates 3 sector days of World Water Day, World Forestry Day, and World Meteorological Day. The Uganda Water and Environment Week will take place from 12th to 17th March 2023 at the Ministry of Water and Environment headquarters in Luzira under the theme Water and Environment for Climate Resilient Development.
Uganda Water and Environment Week is organized by Ministry of Water and Environment through the Water Resources Institute with support from development partners.
Did you know that you can safely and conveniently make your school fees payments anytime, any school, anywhere using Airtel Money? Oh yes! Simply pick up your phone and dial *185#. Select option 6, school fees. Choose between school pay, peg pay, or shore pay. Enter student number. Enter amount, confirm name and transaction. Enter Airtel Money PIN. A confirmation message will be sent to you upon a successful transaction. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're descending into Entebbe Airport. For those proceeding to Kampala City, the biggest event in East Africa is in town.
That's right, the East African Business Expo 2023 is happening from the 23rd to the 26th of March at Kololo Grounds. Join us to network, connect, and grow. Contact us for exhibition or sponsorship opportunities. The 14th East African Procurement Forum and Business Expo 2023 is hosted by PPDA.
Now sit back and relax. It's time to explore great business opportunities.
Jerry con! Jerry con! Hey, Master Blaster! Touch him, man! Bang Jerry con with muscle! Those ones who say go for you only. Mundava, first school fees I teach you. When I go to the Muscari, because of the cover is very far. Is you serious? Is serious you? What? Yeah? You stay put on it. Add kilometers to your legs, and you get your sugar. We buy meat from Umaru, and Umaru refuse to give you enough meat. Mama! Show him that they don't joke with you. Umaru, Jerry,
okukakaluka n'okulungi kwetaagako omuntu akuyambako n'olwekyo tujja kukuteerawo embeera esaanidde osobole okukola ekisinga awamu teri kitulema.
And now in business, 3 countries of Eastern and Southern Africa have combined efforts to tackle the fall armyworm that affected crops between 2016 and 17. Agroecological researchers from Malawi, Zambia and Uganda want to test, adapt and demonstrate the suitability of new innovations for smallholder farming systems.
They are responding to a disaster that invaded the African continent, including Uganda, in 2016 and 2017. The fall armyworm threatens the production of maize, among other crops. This is why the agroecology management of the fall armyworm in Eastern and Southern Africa has been unveiled.
We had to take time to identify the right parasitoids. For example, what are those insects that are able to lay their eggs in the bodies of fall armyworm and destroy them? How we had to try and customize these options.
This is being done in partnership with the International Center of Insect Physiology and Ecology. Climate smart, gender responsive, agroecological approaches and biorational products have been developed for the fall armyworm management.
And the ultimate purpose is for them to reduce pesticide use, 1, to increase income to increase yield of their maize, and also to work with policymakers to maybe institutionalize some of these integrated pest management approaches against fall armyworm.
We have now gathered enough data beyond reasonable doubts to know that these are safe options, these are applicable options, these are effective options, and then these are options that we know can be sustainable in our farming systems.
The 3-year initiative that started in December 2022 runs up to November 2025. Funded by GIZ, National Agriculture Research Organization NARO, is optimistic there will be proper management of crop pests.
Part of our work is working with farmers, and to this end we've trained over 20,000 farmers in areas of economic skills, basic economic skills, and climate-smart agriculture.
Why we promote these items is so that there is minimal environmental impact. That's the main rationale for use of bio-based products.
Total Land Care in Malawi, National Agriculture Research Organization in Uganda, and Zambia Agriculture Research Institute in Zambia are the agencies under which the project is being implemented. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Taking you back a bit, the public is waiting for President Holi Museveni's political statement on whether he forgot the cabinet ministers who were censored by Parliament and those who diverted relief items meant for the people of Karamoja. In his address to the nation on Thursday, the Speaker, Kampala City Traders Association, Kasita Issa Sechito, says the President also needs to pronounce himself on the issue of homosexuality.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is expected to address the nation on Thursday this week. This speech follows controversial issues that the public would wish to hear him address. The effects of COVID-19 lockdown cut across.
Many businesses are closing as a result of COVID pandemic. One, the interest rates have eaten up on all creditors. People who borrow money, who borrowed the money and cannot return it, have lost the collateral.
Still in a recovery stage, but we haven't been given any kind of support from the government. We have been paying taxes and other things. So government should have taken some initiative in order to promote this sector, because this
The Speaker, Kampala City Traders Association, Issa Sechito, says as a Ugandan, he wants to know whether the President pardoned his cabinet ministers who diverted funds and those who were censored by Parliament.
That were censored by the Parliament, and we want to know how do they still sit in Parliament. Maybe the President has excused them. We need to hear about that. What reason the arm sheets were used for? As the business people, we think it is very diversionary, and we hope the President to make a very strong political statement about his ministers, because other than that, people might think he's condoning it.
On the homosexuality issue, Sechito wants the President to pronounce himself whether he sees it as a human right. He wishes to hear President Museveni stand with Ugandans. The anti-gay bill has been criticized for having clauses that support homosexuality. Sechito says the clauses give practicability to the penalties in the law.
We want to hear the President pronounce himself as a pro-Ugandan president, regardless of how people in the diaspora, of how people in the other international communities will regard him. But the punishments that are therein can be practically applied, other than adverse sentences that will be challenged in courts of law and will be ridiculed by the United Nations certain conventions that they are not practically applicable.
From the business perspective, Sechito says the President needs to tell them how he is going to address the trade imbalances between the East African member states and the unfavorable policy of taxation on imports.
To know that and talk about how East African member states are now sidelining us by charging very low taxes and therefore rendering us as Kampala non-competitive. The case with used items, so feel it is timely that the policies that are hard pressing the small and medium enterprises, for example, the appointment of agents to withholding tax and VAT is killing the capital bases of many small enterprises.
Those in the education sector expects the president to talk about information communication technology and innovation, where government makes reforms in education to make ICT compulsory.
Government focuses more into IT education and provide more facilities like creating more innovation places where government supports the students in order to innovate something, because already government has taken an initiative to start an innovation center, but I don't see anything coming out of it.
As an investor, Amit wishes that President Museveni opens gates for more investors in agriculture and give them subsidies to make Uganda a food supplier in the world.
Uganda is a blessed country by nature, and there are lots of the things going on around the world because of the scarcity of the food all across. So Uganda can be a very productive country in providing the food resources to the whole nation. Because
they wish to hear the president talk about the NSSF reports, parish development model inequalities, and how to create a conducive environment for investors. I'm Nafka Farida and Daniel Gemwa in Kampala.
Fish farming expo and training. Ekajansi ku aquaculture research and development center kutandika Friday ngabiri munya paka Sunday ngabiri mukaga March ngome 2023 sawa bili zo kumacha bali lunaku kosirenya kubitano zokka no mutwalo kubone training jangu oyiko kwongera ku makungula ne sente zofuna mu byenyanja oyike babalusa endisa nekola emere ebyenyanja endwadde nezijanja bayabyo ero bikumotya ngabira mwate ngabya mutindo omwoneso kutide bakukuberere mu byenyanja bouncing kazo zabana ebisanyu santoko endoko kasiku okuva mu bayimbi ba Uganda benjawulo eno olaba oyiga ng'atonyumirwa obulamu Fishwise kuba essimu 0702 mukaga 2205 oba 0772 mukaga 26 20 okumanya ebisingawo tosubwa omwoleso gw'ebyenyanja okuwagiddwa nawo nga gutegekeddwa Slick Stars.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Let's talk sports. The Uganda men's cricket team, the Cricket Cranes, is set to travel to Qatar tomorrow, the 14th of March, for a 4-day match series against their hosts. The matches will be played between the 14th and 25th of March with the purpose to better prepare the Ugandan team for ODI cricket.
The Cricket Cranes will play 4 ODI games against Qatar during their 2-week tour to the nation. The team that is set to leave for Qatar tomorrow, the 14th of March 2023, has 3 changes from the team that toured Rwanda in December 2022. Joseph Baguma misses out due to school, Emmanuel Hassasha is unavailable, and Bilal Hassan is away due to family commitments.
3 changes. Remember last year, Riyazat Ali Shah had a broken finger. Alpesh was also injured, and Ronak had a sore knee. So the three of them come back into the team. Joseph Baguma, exciting youngster, but he's still at school, so we've allowed him to stay at school. He's doing his S6. Bilal Hassan, we've given him a bit of time off to go spend with the family. And Hasaya is another one that misses out on this tour. So you know how disappointed we are in not making it into the one-day playoffs. And this for me is a start of a journey. Start of a journey in how do we play one-day cricket differently. And hopefully you'll notice a couple of changes from the way we've approached one-day cricket over the last couple of years. And I'm excited at the opportunity. But from a 50-over point of view, it's again reviewing and seeing where we are, how we can change our game to make sure that we become relevant. And hopefully over the next 2.5 years, we can help achieve our goal and objective of becoming our ODI team.
It's been short notice, obviously, so things are moving quite fast. But as a team, we're ready. We've been in practice for the last 3 months. We're looking forward to some games. It's a big year for us with that Africa qualifier later in the year. So we need as much cricket as we can get, and we're definitely looking forward to going out there and playing. Qatar is not a bad side. They're ranked ahead of us in the T20 rankings, 1 slot ahead of us. So we're looking forward to going out there and getting some competitive cricket.
The 4-day match series will help better prepare the Ugandan team for ODI cricket. This tournament will be played between the 14th and the 25th of March 2023 in Qatar. Grace Joyce Kemgisa, UBC News.
And all 3 players from Uganda under-14 team, Latif Sendiowa, Jonah Sentongo and Claire Nalubula, will compete at the 2023 ITF CAT Individual Africa Junior Championship in Togo on hard court between the 16th and 21st of March. It follows an excellent performance at the East African Regional Zonals Tournament, Bujumbura, Burundi, in January. Latif Sendiowa and Jonah Sentongo, finalists in the doubles draw of the Zonals Championship, ranked 2nd and 4th in the singles draw of the Zonals in the under-14 age category. Claire Nalubula did not reach the finals at the Zonals. Sendiowa and Sentongo follow in the footsteps of Troy, Adrian Ziwa and Trevor Kazibwe, who were the last players at the Africa Individual Junior Championship on clay court, Tunisia. The 2023 ITF CAT Individual Africa Junior Championship has attracted over 30 participants from 8 countries. Team Uganda is led by coach Edward Odochen. Now, with 3 editions of the Bat Ball Regional Tournament already in the bag, the franchise, in partnership with Uganda Cricket Association, has launched the Central Edition to be played at Entebbe Cricket Oval on the 18th and 19th of March. During the launch at the Lugogo Cricket Oval, and the organizers stated that the regional tournament is meant to recognize talent, supplement the regional infrastructure of cricket in respective regions.
4 teams with names derived from birds common to the Central region will compete in the Bat Ball Open Central Edition on the 18th and 19th of March 2023 at the Entebbe Cricket Oval. During the launch at the Lugogo Cricket Oval, the organizers stated they will also use the event to create social impact tagged Fight HIV and AIDS.
It's a 2-day tournament, 18th and 19th. We have 4 teams that are participating. We've had 4 teams at all the events. This one has 4 teams, and they're named after birds that are synonymous to the region. Central is really Buganda, and as you can see, our beautiful trophy is in the map of the Central region. So the 4 teams are Nadibanga, which is a team captained by Ronald Omara. The captains will be introduced, but they're on the side there. We have Ensega. The captain is Hamid Munigwa. We have Kasuma Gizi. Captain is Christopher Kidega. And finally we have Kalori. The captain is Asimwe Yakub.
Now, bat ball events are not just a one-off, they are going to be annual, so these young players will really have enough time and chance to play as many games as possible. Like we know, the more cricket you play, ideally, the better you get. Cricket is simple, cricket is fun, cricket is for everyone. And that's the theme that we inculcate in all our programs, and that is why we include awareness of social problems that are happening in our society. In Soroti, it was creating awareness for gender-based violence, which is common there. In Jinja, Nile region, it was creating awareness for early teenage pregnancies. In the North edition, it was, again, gender-based violence, which is also very common in the region. Now, for the Central region, it is going to be fighting HIV/AIDS.
The objectives of this tournament are to carve pathways for the talent of Uganda through a grassroots to global model based on progressive cricket tournaments aimed at identification, acceleration, and enrichment of worthy, talented individuals.
So when we have partners like Batball who come on board with us to help us, to partner with us in organizing more tournaments, it only benefits UCA, it only benefits the players, it only benefits everyone that is watching.
I expect a lot from this tournament because it's been a great honor and pleasure for us to participate in such a tournament. We, the under-19s, are going to be preparing ourselves for the coming qualifiers, which is going to take place in July. So I think it's a great opportunity for us to show our talents.
The best 16 of the Bat Ball Open Central Edition will progress to the next challenge, where they will meet respective best players from other regions to compete in Bat Ball X later this year. Grace Joyce Kemigisa, UBC News.
Let's now take a look at the headlines. President Museveni to partner with Algeria Nuclear Research Center. While police to investigate the Karamoja iron sheets matter. An NSSF management reacts to Parliament probe report. While in sports, Ranjani Raizat Ranak returned to the squad after missing out on Kigali tour. That does it for News Tonight. Thank you for sticking with us. I am Rhoda Ngozi. Have yourselves a lovely night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.